Welcome to Jerry's Movie Review. I am Jerry. Today I am giving you a recap on the movie A Guilty Conscience. I will breaking down this movie and giving my opinion on the movie. Remember, as always, there will be spoilers. So here we go. This fast-paced legal thriller, A Guilty Conscience, centers on a scathing defense lawyer who is defending a single mother charged with murdering her 7-year-old kid. This film is made intriguing by the vivid characteristics and occasionally funny scenes. A Guilty Conscience is the kind of movie you appreciate if you enjoy reading or watching tales about defense lawyers who go above and beyond by conducting their own research. The Hong Kong set A Guilty Conscience was co-written by Wai Luaning, Jay Chung, and Terry Laming also served as the film's director. The film opens with Daya Wong's flawed and likable lead character Adrian Lam, also known as Lam Leung Shui, holding up proceedings in a courtroom simply because he can. Adrian is a criminal defense lawyer who has a tendency to be haughty, self-absorbed, and challenging. However, he has a strong moral compass. He particularly detests powerful, wealthy individuals. Adrian's recent frustration with his employment is new. He has a new boss named Christine, who he doesn't particularly like, and with whom he frequently quarrels. Additionally, Evelyn Fong, played by Rensi Young, a younger woman whom he doesn't really respect because he believes she isn't on the same level as him because she has less experience as an attorney, must share co-counsel responsibilities with him. Adrian also dislikes taking on situations that seem pointless and to be a waste of his time. For instance, he is depicted in court at the opening of the film defending a person accused of speaking profanity on the subway. Adrian will soon become involved in a more serious case that literally involves life and death. One day, Adrian learns about Jolene Sang, a young, unmarried mother, played by Louise Wong, who has been charged with trying to kill her silent, sign language-only 7-year-old daughter Elsa Sang, played by Sherlock Mack. Jolene was the only one who was known to have been present when Elsa was raped, and she was discovered bleeding and battered on the living room floor of the house where she resides with Jolene. Now in a hospital, Elsa is unconscious. The local news has covered this horrible crime extensively. Jolene firmly disputes that she was involved in this crime in any way. According to Jolene, she was inebriated the night of the assault and dozed off in a different room. Jolene also claims that there is no way she could have been that inebriated when committing the act that she could have blacked out. Jolene, however, is immediately suspected because she was the one who discovered Elsa, and attackers frequently pose as unbiased witnesses. Jolene is arrested since she admits to being in the house during the incident and there are no other suspicions. Evelyn and Adrian are appointed as Jolene's co-lead counsel, but Adrian spends the majority of the time doing the research with assistance from Cam Yuan Shan, a young attorney played by Tse Kwan Ho. Adrian is initially unsure of his feelings towards Jolene's guilt or innocence. But the more he speaks with her and examines the evidence, the more certain he becomes that the crime was not committed by her. And in the midst of this domestic upheaval, where is Elsa's father? When he learned that Jolene was pregnant, Elsa's father allegedly abandoned her, and he was never involved in her upbringing. Elsa tells Adrian that she has been having an affair with Dr. Desmond Chung, played by Adam Pak, a married man who married into a prominent and wealthy family, as was earlier hinted at in the A Guilty Conscience trailer. The haughty and glitzy Victoria Chung, played by Fish Liu, who is close to her mother Madam Chung, the tyrannical matriarch who is fixated on the family projecting the perfect image, is Desmond's wife. Victoria's uncle James Tung, played by Michael Wong, a lawyer who assists the family with legal concerns including managing trust assets, is also a member of this clan. When neighbor Bal Chan, played by Mak Zu Wan, testifies in court that he was patrolling the area the night of Elsa's assault in order to do a neighborhood safety check, Jolene's case suffers significantly. He claims to have seen Jolene at her home, where she was allegedly fighting with a young child close to a sliding glass door that opened to the street. The time frame corresponds to the moment Elsa was assaulted. When Elsa emerges from her coma, the situation changes. Rushing to the hospital, Adrian and Cam question Elsa and inquire as to whether or not her mother was the aggressor. Elsa responds no, it was someone else, but she is unable to elaborate because she was unable to get a clear view of the assailant. Shortly after declaring herself to be a victim, Elsa experiences a tragic accident and dies. Voluntary manslaughter is the current charge against Jolene. There are several narrative developments in A Guilty Conscience that are pretty obvious, but there are also a few surprises that make this a really compelling thriller. Along with the investigation, the courtroom scenes in the movie are notable for Adrian's dramatic demeanor and sarcastic jokes, which occasionally get him in trouble with the judge. As evidence is still being uncovered during the trial, you can see some Perry Mason influences in this movie in the way Adrian's questions in court are also a part of the investigation. Deo Wong, a performer best renowned for his stand-up comedy, gives his portrayal of Adrian a lot of humorous flair. Additionally, balancing the comedy and the drama in a film about a parent who is on trial for the murder of their child is not an easy task. The purpose of Adrian's repeated outbursts in the film is to provide comic relief. Much of it wouldn't be as funny in real life. The majority of written films about criminal trials will portray defense lawyers in one of two ways, as crusading, saintly do-gooders, or as sleazy lowlifes who will do anything to have their guilty clients exonerated. Adrian embodies both. In his pursuit of justice for those he believes have the system stacked against them, he may be arrogant and self-righteous. He can be quite unprofessional both inside and outside of the courtroom and has a bad temper. Adrian may be sympathetic toward Jolene, but there are indications that he harbors some sexism toward his female coworkers. He needs to confront his preconceived notions about his female coworkers who are in positions of authority throughout the course of this case. Adrian first believes he has all the answers in this case, but is quickly reminded that he still has a lot to learn. Although Louise Wong's portrayal of Jolene is heartbreaking and a bit melodramatic, viewers will still be able to relate to Jolene's suffering as she mourns the loss of Elsa and struggles with being imprisoned for a crime that she vehemently denies having committed. Young does a fantastic job in her underdeveloped part as Evelyn, who frequently gets lost in Adrian's domineering antics. The remaining actors are adequate in their parts. A courtroom drama, A Guilty Conscience is more than that. It examines how interpersonal relationships and egos are impacted by gender dynamics at work. It's also a perceptive assessment of how social class might influence how people view a criminal defendant.